What's up, guys? Jake from In the Works Media, and that has to be probably the most boring intro of all time. But I've never really been a huge proponent of unique intros, but maybe I should make one up. But I hope you guys are doing well. Back by popular demand, so to speak, is the Sunday Real Talk commentaries, because a lot of people were mad that I didn't do one last week. That was mainly because I didn't have anything to talk about. Not to mention that I was extremely busy because I don't know. I just had a lot going on last weekend, but this weekend was super nice. Like the weather was just amazing. Like it was God came down from the heavens and was like, you know what? We're gonna give these guys a good weekend, which was good because there was a lot of stuff going on in my life this weekend. Um, Friday was the first day or slash orientation of my quote new job that I'm starting here. Well, starting tomorrow. And it was very interesting. And then I went to a barbecue on Saturday, and it was just an overall good weekend. And these are the types of weekends I like to kind of unwind at. It's the weekends that are like the weather's just right. It's not too hot, not too cold, and that's what we got. I was actually pleasantly surprised because lately the weather's just been all over the place here in the Midwest. Like I know last time I talked to you guys, we were talking about tornadoes, and yeah, we've been getting a lot of tornadoes in the Midwest. I know people down in the South have been getting tons of tornadoes as well. So it's been some crazy weather, but luckily it seems like it's finally gotten a grip on it and things are looking nice. But yeah, orientation on Friday, man. If you guys have never been to a job orientation, you are probably lucky people. This is like probably the second one I've ever been to, so I knew what to expect, and I it was bad. I mean, I was telling my buddies after I got back from it, I was like, yeah, I think I would rather sit through, a 10-hour workday than have to do an 8-hour workday of orientation every day and get paid for it because it's a pretty painful process. It's the equivalent of being put into a room and having to listen to the most dry, uninteresting, boring. That's probably the same thing, but it's just you just sit there and you listen to like company policies and like they start talking about like what you can do and safety regulations and all this stuff, and it really got old. It was kind of the equivalent of going to your college orientation, minus the fact that you actually had people your age that you could relate to. Because I know my college orientation was extremely boring when they like all shuffled us into this white room and lectured us an hour about how the liberal arts and sciences colleges are some of the best colleges in the world to get your degree from. And I'm like, well, that's cool. I really don't want to listen to this. It's hot and I want to go home because our school is extremely old and it had no air conditioning at the time. And the room they all shuffled us into in the middle of July was just, oh, it was horrible. But needless to say, that was nothing compared to this job orientation thing. The lady sat there and she talked and talked and talked and talked about like, HMO plans, which who even cares about that? And then she started talking about like, what's the name of that? Uh, 401k stuff, which doesn't even apply to me because at this point in my life, I'm not going to be doing 401k with this job. So, I mean, it was a very boring experience. And I mean, I wish I could say that I was excited to start this job, but that would kind of be a lie because who am I kidding? Nobody is really ever truly excited to start a job they don't really care about doing that much. And that's kind of how I feel right now. But it's not really I don't really want to say that I'm off put by the job. It just seems like um, jobs like this are a lot of times a little bit more difficult to adjust to, especially when you're leaving college with a degree and you have to settle for something a little bit differently. And that was one thing I wanted to talk about during this is I know in the past I've talked about in commentaries not settling, blah blah blah, but a lot of people misunderstood what I said. I didn't say that you should not get a job to support yourself. Basically, what I'm saying is don't don't try so hard to be like everyone else because I think a lot of people miss that point of that commentary where I was talking about that, like what do you want out of life? And honestly, if you're taking a job, like this is a 90-day job. It literally lasts 90 days and it's over. Um, it it's not really going to change your life in the long term. I mean, all it'll basically do is help you, make bank and pay the bills. And that's, I mean, depending on how young you are, I mean, that's really all that matters. Um, I had a friend recently that just kind of picked up everything, moved out of St. Louis and moved to New York. He worked really hard for about 6 or 7 months, and he saved up enough money that he was able to move to New York. And I mean, that's the kind of things that I'm talking about. I mean, you shouldn't limit yourself in staying in the same area just because you feel like you can't get out of it. I've seen so many people around here that have just kept going at the pace that they go, and before they know it, like, they have a family and they have a couple kids, and at that point they're not getting out of here. They're stuck here. I mean, that's not true for everyone, and I know that might be a very negative way to look at life, but it's just one of those things that seems to happen when you kind of just settle for the norm. And that's kind of what I was talking about in that commentary, and a lot of people don't understand that. And I figured I should clarify that because I seem to have a new perspective on it since I went through this orientation thing, because I saw a lot of kids there that were a little bit older than me that were just starting this job. And I understand that a lot of them probably don't have a whole lot of options because the economy is not good. Who are we kidding? It hasn't been good in the longest time. So things aren't really the best shape, but that doesn't mean that you can't get jobs that you want. I remember after that commentary, a lot of you guys asked me a couple questions like, what do you suggest I go to college for? What do you think? What do you think college is going to? What do you think is the best degree to get a job straight out of college? Honestly, I told them to just do what they want, because if you do a job that you love as opposed to a job that you're going to hate for however long you're there, 40 years, I guarantee you'll like your life a lot better. That's not to say making money isn't great, because it is. I personally picked a degree that a lot of people might say, well, what are you going to do with that? But I enjoyed doing it at the time. That's not to say that I really still want to do something with it, but it was a degree that I enjoyed getting. I wasn't sitting through it saying, man, I hate this. I feel like engineering is sometimes like that, but a lot of times engineering comes out on top, because even though there's long work hours, you can work your way up and get to the point where you're kind of going at your own pace. But anyways, we really got sidetracked in this commentary, and these are kind of things that have been on my mind the past couple days, and I know you guys would prefer me talk about something other than Black Ops, and I understand that. And I understand that there's a few of you that would rather listen to Black Ops talk, so I figured I would compromise and give you Black Ops gameplay while I rambled on about the most random stuff. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and use this opportunity to plug something. I know a lot of you guys helped me out last time on the Machinima Respawn app, and I really appreciated that. It was a good turning. We actually made it to the #1 spot for the day, and I really appreciated that, guys. And I'm not going to upload this video to it because I don't feel like a video that's just a normal video deserves to be up there. But my next one that I'm actually currently working on, I'll definitely put up there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to rate, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day.